I'm Alan Weiss, and this is the writing on the wall. Hi, I'm Alan Weiss. Welcome to Writing on the Wall. This is episode 39, Witch Doctors. That's right, witch doctors. You know, it's interesting, if you look at witch doctors, shamans, they were probably right more than they were wrong. I mean, they were probably effective more than they were ineffective. Otherwise, how could they remain in power so long? If you think about it, simply waiting probably cured a lot of things. I mean, it wouldn't cure cancer, but it would probably cure the common cold. It might cure a rash, might cure an allergy, certainly cure a broken bone. And so sometimes just waiting, no matter what the witch doctor did, was good enough to cure the victim, cure the patient. They used mystical spells, they used potions, they used incantations, but they were comforting because they seemed to know what they were doing. Moreover, they were seldom held accountable. The results were not really their fault if they were not good. It was the victim's fault. The victim didn't take the potion, or the victim had been cursed by some other shaman with greater power, or the victim had something in their background that didn't allow the shaman to be effective, or there was a more powerful god around the mountain, or there was too much rain or too little rain. That's what my lawn guys always tell me. I ask them why I have so much crabgrass, too much rain. Then it's a drought. Why is there so much crabgrass? Too little rain. Too much rain, too little rain. What's the right amount of rain? I got to get in the lawn business. They're not held accountable. So they were usually held in great respect, paid handsomely, and they were afforded great power. The modern witch doctor, the modern shaman, is the stock market expert. If you're really expert, why aren't you wealthy and retired in stocks? Do you really need to be selling me your advice? If you really knew the market, wouldn't your investments be so great? Wouldn't your preventive actions preceding down times be so effective? Wouldn't your exploitative actions after good times be so fabulous that you'd be a wealthy person? It's like the guys at the racetrack who tout horses. If you know the horses who are going to win, why don't you bet on enough of them to get rich and retire? Why do you have to sell me advice? Of course, some of my favorites are that you actually can call people on the phone and get advice on lottery numbers. You pay to get advice on lottery numbers to choose. If they knew the lottery numbers, why do they have to sell their advice? And by the way, why does a psychic need a cell phone? Walk down the boardwalk at a resort and you'll see the seers and the palmists and the crystal ball gazers with a cell phone or a PDA. Why would they need that? That'll be another video. But these people today, the stock market experts, they're the shamans. They predict catastrophe every day. If you predict catastrophe every day, sooner or later you'll be right. If every single day, and I know a guy like this, you predict catastrophe, and on the 57,000th day catastrophe hits, that means on the day prior, you were right, catastrophe hit the next day. That's like betting 25 on the roulette wheel every single spin. And when 25 finally hits, you say, I told you 25 would be the next number. And you're not held accountable for the 400,000 times, or even the 4 times, it wasn't the next number. If you keep predicting the same thing that has some chance of happening, sooner or later you'll be right. The stock market experts didn't see the collapse. Nobody really predicted the collapse that occurred in late '08, early '09, and they're not going to predict the recovery. They're going to claim they did, but they won't have, except for the guys who, guess what, are predicting the recovery every day. So my advice is you got to be careful about who you listen to, and that person ought to be yourself, because the experts are guessing. They're empowered by their own charm, their own amulets, their own incantations, their own special spells and special language, their arcane products, derivatives and puts and options and junk and all this kind of stuff they don't know. And so, why trust them? My advice, buy low, sell high, meantime hold fast. If you want to know more about shamans and witch doctors, read the book The Evolution of God by Robert Wright. This is what's prompted me to think about this. It's a superb book, and this is the kind of thing that he brings to light. I urge you to take a look at that book. Well, Koufax, time to go. Tell me something. What's the story on squirrel futures? Let's go, Koufax. Come on, Koufax. Get in the car. In the car. Good boy.